Welcome to the Power Packed Podcast. Please be quiet and courteous and silence your cell phones now. Be sure to grab some snacks and concessions, located in the lobby. And now our feature presentation. Prepare for butter.
Time, wondering if maybe I'm losing my mind. Stepping out to the rising enemy, or maybe I'm going out to sea. Maybe you should know by now. When I get back, everything will be alright. Seems like I'm out to sea every single night. I hope this old boat will stay afloat as we go.
I hope this old boat will stay afloat as we go.
Whoa, I don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Whoa, I don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Whoa, I don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Whoa,
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Baby back on my chest.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I got a baby on my chest.
Is that a microphone? No, it's a baby head. Talking to the baby head. Stimulate her baby brain. She will learn her ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. You and me are helping your baby's brain.
Baby brain. Yeah, this special episode, I've got my baby here. If y'all didn't know, I had wife and I had a baby a couple months ago, and she's a keeper. But yeah, we're doing this podcast thing and just having a good old time. Episode 129, I think 129. That's what my notes say.
I think so.
Yeah, and it's.
I just thought of your baby's Halloween costume.
What is it?
Okay. So when she gets hair, like a lot of hair, I don't know how much hair she has, like hair down to her back, like long hair.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. When she gets that, put her in like a onesie or whatever they wear at that age. I don't know how old a long haired baby is, but I don't know.
Probably a couple years
so when
old.
when you have a long haired baby, they're probably not wearing onesies, but whatever they're wearing, drill a hole in the back of the onesie or whatever, and then feed her hair through, and then like do a really tight braid so it looks like a string, and then attach a loop at the end so it's like one of those pull string baby things, and then do like the face paint makeup like a creepy puppet doll, like who's that guy who does what do you call it when you're like talking through a ventriloquism? Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is.
Bezos.
Dunham.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos. Close enough.
So like do put the little lines on her jaw, make her look like a puppet, and then you just pull the string, which is her hair, and it hurts, and so she screams every time you do it. So it's like, look at my Halloween. She screams, and that's it.
There you go. It's a perfect costume. I'm sure that wouldn't have any calls for CPS coming at all, with that type of costume. Yeah, no, that's creative though. You know what I mean? That's like your brain is like a crock pot. You just kind of toss in some carrots and onions and chicken broth, and all of a sudden you got like a.
There's a drunk middle-aged man who thought it was the restroom, and that's also in there. So
yeah. Oh, so some drunk
he
man
just
had
stumbles
chilies
around. He's like, "Oh, make some chili," and
oh yeah.
I don't know.
John's brain chili. That sounds really gorish. Sounds really. Maybe that could be the Halloween costumes. Your brain is a crock pot.
Gross.
Or your head's a crock pot. Anyways, yeah. Well.
Hey, what are you doing? You're too big to be smashing the cat with your paws. Okay. We are the Power Pack podcast featuring two dudes and a dog that makes me shout at her and interrupt my beautiful host, Josh Karsh.
Oh, you're all good. And, I know what it's like to have a big dog. I took my dog in for a yearly checkup recently. It was like yearly appointment, and he gained like almost 10 pounds.
Gee, so
he's-
like an 80-pound dog or something?
well, he's like almost 70 pounds. He's usually like about, well, he's usually 60 and he was 66, or kind of give or take. But yeah, he's a big dog. I always like, he's usually skinnier because he's like, like a poodle mix or whatever. But yeah, it's just
mix.
crazy. And I think because like I don't know, because maybe like we brought the baby home and he's like, oh gosh, they don't give me as much attention, which is funny because we give him a ton of attention. But he does this thing if like we're hanging out with the baby, he'll lay down on the couch with his back to us, like purposely.
It's like, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm the baby. Yeah, so dealing with, but he's healthy otherwise. And you've got a big dog too, right? It's like 60 pounds, but it's also like pretty young, right? It's still a puppy.
I don't know, a year and a half-ish, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's like a little bit
Maybe a year
younger.
and 3 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's real fun. But yeah, hopefully your dog will stop smashing your kitten with its giant paws too.
Well, the other thing she started doing was eating my eye mask for sleep time.
Oh,
I was like, I don't wear it all the time. I wear it when I'm going to bed first, and I just want to leave the light on because, she usually goes to bed later. So sometimes I'll just put it on and be like, okay, I'm going to bed. And then one night it wasn't there, and I was like, have you seen my eye mask? She's like, I don't know where it went. But she knew, she just didn't tell me. And the next day another one like appeared, and I was like, oh, is this it? She's like, oh yeah, I ordered that for you. And I was like, why'd you order this? Because the dog ate your other one. And that happened twice. The dog ate my eye mask.
Wonder if it's like there's certain things like socks and underwear, not to be gross, but maybe the eye mask like your
Is this the underwear? I
Yeah.
want it.
it's like, ooh, I think it's just your it's been on your face, so it has like a smell.
Hey! Come here!
Oh man. But yeah.
Myrtle. Sorry, I just heard the cat shrieking, so.
Oh god. So does she like to just basically, she's like, I want to play with you, but she's like 4 times her size.
Yeah, and the cat's kind of a drama queen at the same time. So, well, they'll be. Charlene texted me one day. She's like, "Well, because she, she babies the dog so much. She like every morning she'll open the cage and sit with the dog and pet the dog and like no wonder you're late for work. But anyways, he said, well, this morning I had to pry claws out of the dog's face because that's how the cat plays. She'll just roll on her back and the dog will just put her nose like in her belly, and the cat will just go clink and like stick her claws in the dog's face.
Ooh, ouch.
And the dog will just sit there with her tail wagging. And she's like, this doesn't hurt. This is fine. I'm playing. It's like, no, you're going to like get an eye taken out or something.
Yeah.
So
It's like, that's how John's dog went blind.
she just sat there and let the cat tear it out.
Claw her eyes out. Jeez, that's crazy. What a interesting duo, though, at the same time. It's like very interesting,
Did I tell you about our in-laws cat and dog? I think I did. I feel like I mentioned it.
I don't know if I heard that story.
Where they have a weirder thing. And I've watched this. I've witnessed it. So this is firsthand. So the cat will come up to the dog, and then I guess the cat will like lay down, and then the dog will literally just kind of like cock his head to the side and put his jaws around the cat's head. Won't bite down,
Whoa.
but it'll just like hold it. It's like a bird feeding another bird with a worm. Like, it's gentle with the worm now. We're not going to smush the worm. It's just, it's like, it's
Wow.
It's just the weirdest thing. Like, the cat will, it's like, if I'm a human, I'm going to put my head in the jaws of a shark, except the shark won't bite down. We're just playing.
Oh
It's
my
fine.
gosh, that is, dude, that is, it's like those, when you see people like the videos of like, oh, I raised a grizzly bear until like my whole life, and it like is like super gentle with the people, but it's like, you're also like, oh, is that bear going to eat that person's head? It's like, or lions or tigers, whatever. But that's next level. Yeah, that is, did they like ever see that at first and they're like, oh, is this dog trying to kill the cat? And then they're like, oh, they're just friends. Like that, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was really odd.
Well, I'm glad your pets don't do that. I mean, the claws in the face is not good, but just one day the dog could be like, the cat's head kind of tastes good, and don't want your cat.
What if
to
it
eat.
like has like a muscle spasm and it just bites down?
Yeah,
Just crunches kitty.
yeah,
Crunch.
that'd be sad. Nobody, no Crunchwrap Kitty today.
Crunchwrap kitty in the dog's jaws of life.
Oh, the jaws of life. the jaws of life. Oh, that would be the jaws of life. Like those, I think when I think of jaws of life, I think of those things they use to pry people out of cars. Isn't that what they are? Right? It's like that machine.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just plop it on open.
Yeah.
What we need is lasers. Do we have laser technology yet where you can just laser a door off of a car?
I bet Elon
I feel like we
Musk
should be
does.
there by now.
Probably. I mean, I feel like, do you ever wonder if billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have like secret technology that's not available to the public? So it's like, they have access to like lightsabers and things right now, but none of us like are able to get our hands on them.
I mean, like, they went to space. I mean, we have Skype. Like, we have technology. So,
Skype
you
is
think lasers.
a good example.
Yeah. I mean, you could video chat someone in a mud hut if they have Wi-Fi. Like, you can. I mean, we got the internets. Why don't we have lasers? I mean, we have laser pointers.
Yeah.
And I've seen YouTube videos of people making lasers so powerful they like melt things. So why can't we melt car doors off of cars to save people's lives? I feel like it'd be way more efficient.
Yeah. Let's start a GoFundMe, and then we'll have some like really smart dudes get together and make a super powered laser. I know I've seen I think somebody I knew allegedly bought like a laser pointer offline that was apparently powerful enough to burn paper, and then they paid the money for it, and like 3 months later it never showed up, and they like didn't get a refund.
What?
Yeah, so I won't name who it is, but they had that experience, and they're like, yeah, this is like, it's gonna like be super powerful and can like burn a hole through paper, and it was in some like
That's
other
cool.
country. It seemed like really sketchy. I was like, oh well, if it ever arrives, and it never did.
Yeah, it's like when this guy at work tried to sell me a bulletproof vest, and he wouldn't tell me where it was from. I started researching them because I was like, I know they're expensive, but he's selling them for like half of what they go for. And sure enough, there's like this Chinese site that was selling them for super cheap. I'm sorry, the dog's
you're
squeaking
good.
a toy. And so like, yeah. And I looked at reviews, and they're like, do not buy this. Bullets go through this.
Whoa.
It's like, this guy's trying to sell me some Chinese rip-off bulletproof vest.
It's
Like,
like,
no, I don't want any of that.
dude, it's funny because you can cut corners with certain Amazon products, right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna get like an off-brand thermos, or I'm gonna get like an off-brand,
Or I'll have like
Backpack.
Western Family root beer.
yeah, Western Frame root beer. But a bulletproof vest, it's like,
You don't want Western Family bulletproof vest.
yeah, we got the Western Family bulletproof vest. It's lined with cardboard, but there's enough of it that it might stop a bullet, maybe a BB gun bullet. I don't know.
It's used out of recycled plastics or made out of, it's eco-friendly. Yeah, no.
Eco-friendly. It's gonna be
Eco-friendly
safe.
for the children.
Yeah. Western Family bulletproof vest. Yeah, you don't. That's my. It's funny. I have this thing with like off-brand stuff. Like for me, I always buy name brand like cheese and certain things. It's just like this philosophy where it's like, I'm gonna buy the nice thing of certain things, and I feel like that would be the same thing with a bulletproof vest, or just certain things that are meant. It's or like let's say an EpiPen. That's at the same level as an EpiPen. There's an EpiPen, but it's made by some off-brand, like Kroger, and they're like, there's actually only like 5% of the like epinephrine, and then the rest of the 95% is baby oil. So just to cut costs. So yeah, you want to get the good stuff when it comes to things like that, especially things that'll save your life. Wow.
I mean, yeah, I'm like you. There's some things I'll go the off-brand. Well, not many things. Most things I don't, but like cheese, I don't like off-brand. Like
Yeah.
the Great Value, I think it's like the Walmart brand.
Oh, great
I don't-
value.
I'll do the Great Value like yogurt and stuff because it's
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Yeah, that same. Yeah.
But like milk, I want normal, just 2%. Give me that Prairie Farms or normal milk. Like meat, don't give me Great Value meat.
Great value meat.
Probably, it's probably fine, but like there's just something, I don't know. It's probably a mental block, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
yeah.
great value is tricky because you are getting a great value for certain great value things, but other ones you might potentially be getting E. coli. So it just depends.
Yeah. I bought this Great Value cheese because sometimes like it was like $1 for a big old bag of grated cheese.
Yeah.
And for a snack, sometimes we do like cheese and crackers and we melt it on the cracker. And I'm a degenerate and I'll put a blob of ketchup on my half of the crackers. But
Ketchup boy.
the cheese would not melt. Like normally I put them in there for like a minute and usually the cheese is bubbling. I put this in there for like a minute. There was barely any melting happening.
Uh-oh.
It's like, this isn't cheese at that point.
See, that's
This
what's
is something
scary.
else.
Yeah, if it's not melting, you're like, I don't know if this actually. It's kind of like an American cheese thing, but even American cheese will melt. So, yeah, it's scary when you get something like that says cheese product. I've gotten that before. It's like the name brand, off-brand, like Safeway brand or whatever, and it's like
It's inspired by cheese.
inspired by
It's
cheese.
like,
What is it? It's mainly baby oil. Just everything's cut with baby oil. I don't know.
Dude, did I tell you about this one? I think it was Halloween. I was in 5th grade. I decided to go as an old person. So all I did was put baby powder in my hair. And
Ew.
and I remember, I think we had to like run a lap around the track. And it was like, I feel like I look like a chimney or a train because, the baby powder was flowing in the
It's
wind
going-
behind me. But my teacher was allergic. And so she made me like get out as much baby powder from my head as possible. And she ruined my Halloween costume.
That is a
baby powder
great
story.
That's a great baby powder story. I closed my eyes there and I saw like what I imagined a young John Whip just running epically on the track and just baby powder.
Just a white cloud of smoke. Just
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fast.
Yeah, I gotta go fast. And then the fact that it's just the great value cheese on the cracker that the teacher was allergic. Like that makes
Oh no, she's allergic to my baby powder.
Yeah, so the baby powder, she's allergic. That's what makes it even better. It's like she's allergic to
Oh,
baby
yeah,
powder.
okay.
And
Yeah.
but what kind of allergic was she? Like, did she need an epinephrine pen? Hopefully not the Kroger kind.
I don't know. It's like probably the same allergic when people are like, "Oh no, I'm allergic to bees." I'm like, "What do you mean? I get a welt." It's like that's not allergic. That's just a bee sting. That's what happens.
Yeah, there's like legit people allergic to bees and peanuts where like they literally it'll close their throat. So that's what's that's what's bad when people are like, I am allergic to dairy. Or it's like when people are like, oh, I need gluten free because I'm allergic to bread, and they eat bread and they just like get a tummy ache, but it's probably because they also ate like too much bread or something. I don't know. It's just silly.
You just gave me my idea for when I'm a dictator. To weed out the weak, I'm gonna
Jeez.
I'm gonna crossbreed or engineer bees to instead of stinging poison, they sting like peanut butter particles, like peanut particles. And so I'll just breed millions of bees in my country that sting peanut particles, and then all the weirdos that are allergic to like peanuts, and they're probably allergic to everything like gluten too.
Bees.
They'll all go extinct, and my country will thrive off of meat eaters and milk drinkers and peanut butter loving good people. Just salt of the earth, peanut butter eating people.
That whole like thing, I'm imagining everybody. It's just this big open land, kind of like Scotland. Everything's green, and it's a bunch of like people in like they're probably naked or just wearing like one garment things, and they're just eating handfuls of peanut butter and raw meat and drinking like gallons of milk.
And I'll have a decree that hospitals cannot treat bee stings.
Yes.
Like it's law. Like if someone comes in and they're like have an allergic reaction to a peanut butter bee sting, it's like we can't treat you. We're weeding you out. So you're gonna have to wait outside. You're not even allowed in here.
Yeah, sorry,
Just
you
like,
can't
get
come
out.
in. Dictator John Dictator John. It all started. You rose to fame as the dictator of whatever country by getting famous from Possum King. They're like, this is the guy we need to lead our country.
He has all the leadership qualities that we want for a strong nation.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need. Strong man.
all them vegetarians and gluten weirdos, like, get rid of them. This is the guy.
Yeah. Imagining like I don't know, like South Dakota becoming its own country and then you like running.
I start there and expand.
Yeah, expand out. And like there's like eventually there's a sad moment where I'm drafted for the state of Washington to fight John's country. And I have like a tear in my eye as I see you riding a horse in the battlefield. And I'm like having to choose my path.
Like, what is this whole like rule of war? Like, isn't there like laws or rules of war? Like, I would draft an agreement that we would have to like use horses, and swords.
No, horses and swords. Even though it's like, okay, we can have a war, but it has to be good old fashioned, where you're
And then
annexing
I'll sneak in
countries.
I'll sneak in some like poison ants that I'll have bred and engineered. I'll get scientists that just pretty much weaponize insects. I'll just not tell anyone else.
I'm imagining you riding over a hill and your army is just like a swarm of bees and those bread ants, and it's just like you riding a horse and you look like dressed like Napoleon, but you have a sword. It's just like
it's like a swarm of the beetles from the Mummy. They're just,
yeah. Dude, speaking of Mummy, I thought of that movie for the first time in probably 20 years today, like The Mummy, since I probably haven't seen it in that long. But anyways, yeah. And I think that's a good note to end on because we're at time. But yeah, I thought about The Mummy for the first time in 20 years.
Well, let's talk about the Mummy next week. 2 small half rats for the next 2 weeks. Well, hopefully we get this out this week. Who knows? But yeah, babies take up time, so we're just working with what time we got. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you for tuning into our regularly scheduled program. Contact Josh and Jonathan at powerpackedpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/powerpacked. See you next time, you dirty little rat babies.